It's a Taste of Nashville. Brought to you by Omni Nashville and Lionel Trains with Devon O'Day and John Dwyer. And their guests, Maria Denisi, Jayne Denham, Wendi Irlbeck, Judy Pastor, and special guest co-host Cathy Martindale.
Welcome in, everybody. It's time for Taste of Nashville. I'm Devon O'Day.
And I'm Cathy Martindale.
And John Dwyer is not with us today. He's vacationing. We miss you, John. But you know what? This is our first all-girls show we have ever had at Taste of Nashville. Woo!
We used to be competitors on the radio in the morning here in Nashville. And it was so funny because people would come up to me and say, "Are you Devon O'Day?" Because we were both tall, had long blonde hair, both on the radio at the same time. And they would
Mine
ask
was
her
like,
the same.
Kathy. And I'm going, finally I just said, yes. I just tried to treat people nice so that if they went, yeah, I met that Cathy Martindale, you know.
But this girl is so talented. I mean, you think about, you've been in radio, TV, you're a singer, a songwriter. As a matter of fact, on the radio yesterday, I heard a song, and I'm just going, oh my gosh, Devon O'Day wrote that song. It's George Strait.
The big one.
The big one. And I'm going, all you have to do is go to the mailbox and pick up a check. I want that job. I want that life.
I laughed because that chick bought me a house in Donaldson.
Gosh.
900 square feet, the size of George Strait's bathroom.
Oh my gosh. Jeez, I cannot believe. So is that the only song you've ever had cut by an artist?
No, my first was Hank Jr. and
oh my gosh.
Then Ray
Name
Stevens,
dropper, go on.
Pam Tillis and Neil McCoy. Like a few songs out there, but I'm really, you know.
So seriously, do you just like get these checks in the mail?
No, songwriters used to get paid. Now this is a thing that people used to, a songwriter would get paid, and now because of streaming, I think my last royalty check was 17 cents. It costs more to mail it. I know, but that's the kind songwriters have to find other ways. Thank the Lord that I have this job because they pay me the big bucks to do this. But I'm here and I love it, and that's what it's all about. Yeah. So speaking of loving your job, there was something that you and Coyote McLeod, who you were on all the time with, and you guys endorsed a spa, and we were talking about spas. We have the lovely Mocara Spa here at Omni Hotel Nashville, and it is amazing. But you endorsed a spa at another hotel years ago, but the experience was kind of interesting.
Oh gosh, yeah, we they gave us a menu of different things we could do, and I went for the chocolate treatment. Yeah, they first of all, they put you on a bed and they rain on you, and then they cover you in melted chocolate. And then do the massage. I don't want to go any further with this because champagne was involved in that. So anyway, it was a lovely way to go. But yeah, these days, I mean, my idea of a massage is just laying in my recliner and turning on a little massage thing that I got.
I know. Do we all buy massage chairs? You get a certain age and you go, I don't want something that big in my house. And then all of a sudden you go, I want that. I want that massage chair. I want that. Hey, we're going to have all sorts of stories coming up, but we're going to find out the person here at Omni Nashville who literally meets the public and says, here's some wonderful things that you can do. When you walk in, from the moment you walk in the door at Omni Nashville, you are greeted with a smile and a lot of knowledge, because Nashville can be completely overwhelming. But they take all the guesswork out of it. We're going to find out more when we come back. Stay with us.
Step into the Lionel retail store at Opry Mills, Nashville, and you'll be captivated by all the magic of the 124-year history of Lionel Trains. Whether you're already a train enthusiast or just getting started, Lionel will energize your love for trains. NASCAR fan? Come check out your local Lionel station to learn all there is to know about model trains and die-cast NASCAR collectibles. Visit LionelNashville.com or call 615-455-9399.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Taste of Nashville. We are live at the Omni. John Dwyer is on vacay, and I brought in the Tennessee Radio Hall of Fame ringer, Miss Cathy Martindale.
She is also a Tennessee Radio Hall of Famer. So, yeah, I don't know what that means, except we're both old.
Hey. Don't use the O word.
No, it's fun. This business just keeps us going.
That's right. And talk about keeping us going. If you come to Nashville, it can be really overwhelming when it comes to things to do, where to stay, what to do. Even you walk downtown, and even though I've lived here for a really long time, I feel like I'm vacationing in another town. Do you ever feel like that?
Absolutely. I've been downtown a lot lately. I was at Lainey Wilson's new club like 2 nights ago. She was showcasing her brand new album, which is awesome. It's called Whirlwind. And she took over the old Florida Georgia Line club down there. And it's called Bell Bottoms Up. Shocker. But she was just as real as you think she is. She was just an awesome host for the night.
Yeah, she's from Baskin, Louisiana, which is right. It's my hometown. It's just like I got people there. Of course, I had people everywhere in the state. I had to move so I wouldn't feel like I was dating somebody I was related to. But we're going to talk to Maria Denisi. Maria, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
You're here from Omni Nashville. And what is your job?
So I am an assistant front office manager. So we oversee the arrival experience and the stay experience of all of our guests here that come to stay with us or that walk in to go to any one of our wonderful restaurants or our spa. We sit right in front of the front door, so we get to welcome everyone and ensure that their stay is flawless.
Do people literally walk in, kind of look, we say like they've been hit in the face with a bass? I mean, because it's so, when you walk in, it's so beautiful when you come in here, and you don't even know what to take in first, because 24/7 you've got those beautiful fireplaces that are lit up that make it just, even in the summer, it makes it special. And the restaurants are so incredible. How do you guide people when they first walk in?
So it's always funny to me because you do kind of see them stop and then they'll just kind of look around and see like, oh my goodness, or they'll have their phone out and they're recording it because everybody does that now. But then we kind of have to ask them, what are you looking for when you come to Nashville? Like, what do you really want to get out of your experience, to try to pinpoint and customize it to what they're really looking for to make sure they get the full experience.
Do you have a good guest story? Somebody that's asked for something special or something you've gone out of your way to do for a guest?
Yeah, absolutely. We have our select guest program, so we have lots of wonderful select guests that come stay with us frequently. And with those guests, we build all sorts of relationships with them. I know one guest who comes all the time, one of his family members just recently finalized their cancer treatments and were cancer free. So this was their first trip since they started their treatments, and they were so excited to be back out and celebrate. So we made sure we got them in a very nice suite, and we went up and we decorated, make sure they had some special welcoming amenities in their room, just to make it a truly memorable experience.
What's the most unusual thing a guest has asked for?
Oh, I mean, you get the ones where they ask, I don't know, they come up, they ask for like, where's the nearest strip club, all the fun stuff. But, you're like, okay, I don't necessarily know that answer, but we can try to Google it for you. You know,
Google.
It's a saving grace. When
I mean,
in
do
doubt,
they
you
want to
just
do the
Google.
little trolley thing where they, the pedal cards and all that stuff?
Oh, all the time, absolutely. We're constantly booking those for everyone. They'll see them on the street and they'll be like, what is that? How do I get to be a part of that?
Okay, because I love hosting this particular show, it's walking distance really, but you can take a quick Uber or a pedal tavern down there. Every Saturday at 3rd and Lindsley, I host Backstage Nashville, a matinee songwriter show. So when they say, what can we do? We don't strip, so we don't do that, but we are, according to Condé Nast Magazine, one of the top 15 things to do in Nashville. And I say, stay at the #1 hotel. That's what I call Omni Nashville. Go to the amazing restaurants and then come see the matinee show every Saturday at Backstage Nashville. How about that?
I think that's a fantastic trip, yeah.
And it's just around the corner from the Country Music Hall of Fame, too. I mean, you don't even have to go outside. You can go through the hotel to get to the Hall of Fame Museum.
Absolutely. We're very lucky to be so close to the Country Music Hall of Fame and to be able to share that with our guests and assist them with really seeing the history of country music and how that's developed here in Nashville.
And Bar Lines is just so much fun. It's open to the street. And so people walk in and you've got live music all the time. And you had an Australian singer-songwriter last night and coming up, we've got an Australian singer-songwriter performer who's going to be on our show. How cool is that?
It's amazing. I mean, really here in Nashville, we're so grateful to be a part of all of the amazing talent that's here in this city.
I don't mean to be too nosy, but who is the most famous person who has walked through your front door here?
I love that question.
We've seen quite a few people. I like to say that the Beach Boys are my favorite because I'm such a fan. And
At your young age, you love the Beach Boys?
Yeah, I love the Beach Boys. I have family members that also really love the Beach Boys. So when I was young, I was introduced to them, and I've just carried that throughout.
What made you want a front desk position? Because the thing that I hear most in the world, every job, they go, it'd be a great job if I didn't have to deal with the people. A lot of people, whatever job it is, it's like if I didn't have to do people, I could just go in and sit at my desk, do my job, and go home. You chose a job where you work with people.
Yeah, absolutely. Not every day is perfect, but I just really like personalities and I like working with people. I like coming into my day and being able to talk with people and get to know them, see where they're coming from, why they're here. And so really coming in and having that interaction with all of our guests is something that makes my day go, more pleasantly and have lots more fun than just sitting down and doing some spreadsheets and going home.
Every hotel, big hotel like this, has a secret room, places that are off limits to the guests. What is your favorite place to go to that nobody knows about here?
We have a really nice banquet meeting space that only the banquet managers get to go in and have their meetings. And it's a nice little corner room in the back that has almost a similar view to what our guests get when they go in our guest rooms. So sometimes I like to sneak up there just to sit, have a little quiet moment and look at the view.
You have a rooftop pool, don't you?
We absolutely do.
Do you have anybody
yes.
that ever just goes all natural?
I can't say that I have seen that, thankfully, but we do get some pretty interesting folks around here.
People from other countries might not understand
Yes.
That would be interesting.
Maria, thank you so much for being here. And when you come in the front door at Omni Nashville, whether you're a guest or whether you're just passing through, make sure you check out that front desk and say, hey, what's there to do at Omni Nashville? Hey, we're going to be back. We're going to go to Australia for our next guest, and she's going to play a song, and she's fantastic. Her name is Jayne Denham. So stick around.
Hi, I'm Sarah at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Come see us at Bar Lines.
He shoots, and he scores!
Racing season is underway, and the Lionel Racing Retail Store at Opry Mills, Nashville has a die-cast car for every fan, from classic cup cars to recent checkered flag winners. So make plans to make your next pit stop at the Lionel store in Opry Mills, Nashville, and drive away with a collectible die-cast car from your favorite driver. Lionel Racing is the official die-cast car of NASCAR, the choice of champions. Visit LionelNashville.com or call 615-455-9399.
We are taping live in Omni Nashville's Kitchen Notes. I'm Devon O'Day.
And I'm Cathy Martindale, filling in for John Dwyer today.
And we are so excited because this is our, and I don't know if it's polite to say down under, our down under segment. I don't know. We're going to find out because we have a guest from Australia, and I love her music. I met her a few years ago at WSM. Jayne Denham is with us. Hi, Jayne.
Hi, thanks for having me on the show again. It's great to see you.
Oh, okay.
G'day, mate. That's probably.
Love your accent.
Jayne is, and I met her because I also, and you do trucking music and trucker music in Australia and everything. How did that even start with you?
Oh, well, I actually used to be a hairdresser, and I was doing someone's hair. This is before I was full-time music, and I was doing my very first album, and I was doing this lady's hair, and I said, oh, she said, what are you doing? I said, I'm about to record a country music album. And she said, oh, you should write a song about my cousin Jude. She drives a truck and she looks like Sandra Bullock. And so I was like, that's a good idea. So I wrote it down and I wrote the song, never met the girl ever. Then I was in Tamworth at the festival and she came up to me and said, hi, I'm Cousin Jude. And she dead set looked like Sandra Bullock. So then we did a whole video with trucks and this girl in it. And then after that, in Australia and here in America, they just went, there's this girl in Australia singing trucking songs. And so then I kept writing trucking songs for like the next 4 albums. So, yeah.
Well, first of all, you got the perfect country name, Jayne Denham.
Yes.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
That is your real name.
Yeah, that is my real name.
That is awesome.
I know, it's not a stage name. I get asked that all the time.
Is it hard or is it easier these days to break into the music scene with all the outlets you have, with YouTube, with all the podcasts and Spotify and all that? Then used to be you'd knock on doors, on radio station doors and just hang around Music Row trying to get a record deal.
Yeah, look, I think it's definitely changed, and the artist has to do a lot more than back in the day, but I still think if there's something unique about you, it'll rise to the top. You know, I think that's always the...
How do you find your style when you're new and you're breaking into the business?
I think that's the whole point, is really finding that thing about you that's unique, that people go, wow, that's something special, that's something new. And yeah, I don't know, I think that probably comes down to your style as a person, but also your sound. I grew up on country music, and then I joined a rock band when I was at high school, and so when I started writing country music, those two genres, you know, it was like AC/DC meets Garth Brooks, you know. I don't know.
And of course, if you come to Nashville, all you have to do is start talking, and people go, "Oh, I just love her."
Sign here.
I love that Australian.
And I just talked to somebody yesterday that sounds like her a lot, Keith Urban.
You interviewed Keith yesterday, right?
I interviewed Keith yesterday in town, and I did not ask him about you, but have you ever met Keith?
I actually performed at his Sydney show once as his opening act, so yeah, but I've never actually met him. I saw him, but I didn't actually get to meet him, unfortunately. So.
Well, last night here at Bar Lines, they had a singer-songwriter perform from Australia, Angus Gill.
Yeah, Angus has moved over to Nashville, so we're very proud of what he's achieving in Australia and now here. So.
Well, there is a fascination, and I think you probably have found it. There's a fascination with Australia and Ireland. So there are a lot of people of both those countries that come here often, and they find a lot of love here.
Yeah, but you know, when I find out those two countries, the fans of country music like it a little more traditional than what you might find on American country radio these days. It seems to me that they like to go back to the basics in Australia and Ireland.
Well, it's interesting because there's this big buzz thing in Australia now because they're saying country music's blowing up.
Yeah.
And country music in our country was always this very small, and it's still small. We're a small country, even though we've got a lot of land. It's a very small population, but it's really exciting to see country music literally blowing up. Like, young people are just so into country music, which is great because that gives us more work, more fans are coming out to see country music, and there's definitely a shift in, like what you were saying, the tradition of country music in Australia was very much traditional, but now it's starting to spin.
Okay.
And there's a lot of young people coming through, so it's very exciting.
Well, we've got to hear some of that music. Now,
Sure.
introduce this gorgeous guitar player that you got with you.
This is my friend here who we wrote a song together called Moonshine Money. So yeah, we're going to actually play Moonshine, the title track of my album. And here we go. This is Ross, by the way. Yeah. I remember that first sip on my lips, yeah. I remember that punch, that kick, that summer high. Yeah, nothing's even come close until tonight. On your back porch, pull me in close. Electric touch, like a rush, like a dose of moonshine. That clear corn liquor got nothing on your midnight kiss. The way it feels like that white lightning knocked me over the first time. When I tasted that buzz, that ride, your love hits me like moonshine. You go straight to my head, can't get out of bed till noon. Hung overhead, pounding, need a heavy-handed pour of you. I hate that I need it, but damn it, I love it. This feeling, it just might make me go blind. Baby, you set my body on fire like moonshine. That clear corn liquor got nothing on your midnight kiss. The way it feels like that white lightning knocked me over the first time. When I tasted that buzz, that ride, your love, it hits me like moonshine. Your love hits me like moonshine, knocks me over like moonshine. Your love hits me like moonshine, moonshine, moonshine. Hey, moonshine. That clear corn like it got nothing on your midnight kiss. The way it feels like that white lightning knocked me over the first time. When I tasted that buzz, that ride, your love hits me like moonshine. Yeah. Woo. Your love hits me like moonshine, knocks me over like moonshine. Your love hits me like moonshine, moonshine, moonshine.
Jayne Denham. Oh my gosh, that's so good. And a new record is, now, is it out now?
Yeah, it came out in May, so it's called Moonshine.
Okay, and where can you get it?
So it's out everywhere and on digital platforms and
Spotify?
Yeah, Spotify.
And give people the spelling of your name.
Oh yeah, so it's Jayne, Jayne, and Denham is spelled Denham, so Denham, but it's pronounced Denham.
And
Very
Ross, that was a pretty good guitar picking over there.
Yeah,
Thank
he's
you very
amazing.
much.
He's got his $2,000 capo over there. That's a pretty fancy thing, isn't it? You've been doing a lot of busking, haven't you?
Yeah, you can see Ross Flora down Main Street.
Really?
Down in bars down there, he's amazing. Yeah, we're going to go see him after this.
Okay, where exactly is that?
I'll be playing later on today at Tequila Cowboy. So
Okay.
That's where all the meetings are.
You know, I love how musical this town is, and that you can walk through the streets and just get overwhelmed with amazing musicians. There's not a bad one in the bunch. I always say that if you think you're a good musician, come to Nashville and you'll find out whether you are or whether you aren't.
It's so true.
And it's no these 90-minute shows, right? It's like 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, and then you go play somewhere else for another 4 or 5, 6 hours. It's, you guys are, everybody. Now, are you going to be playing in town where people can find you?
No, not really. I'm mainly just doing promotion while I'm here this time, but I'll be back. I'm always back doing something. So
But you know, we want to see you every time that you're around.
Aw,
And a big
thanks,
shout
Devon.
out to Trevor and Jan Smith. I did a radio show for years. The Troy Caster Daily and I did a show together, the Toyota Outback Club. So shout out to my friends who watch on a regular basis.
Oh, wow.
And so Trevor and Jan, Trevor's amazing announcer and has been around for years and years and years, fantastic. And I love me some Australian country music. I went to the Gympie Muster. There's two big festivals, Tamworth and the Gympie Muster. And when I say a festival, 80,000 people show up in the middle of a rainforest.
Yeah, like it's miles from anywhere. It's crazy.
On horseback, and never try to drink with an Australian.
It's true. It is very
cannot
true.
keep it up. You can. And I was pretty good in those days to keep it up. No. Just word to the wise, you have learned.
It's kind of off topic though, but have you ever held a kangaroo or a wallaby or
Well, funny enough,
koala?
everyone's asking those questions because they are very dangerous. A lot of people have seen the footage of the guy who punched out the kangaroo. Did you ever see that?
I saw that on YouTube.
Yeah. So the kangaroo tried to eat his dog or attack his dog.
Yes.
And so he like the kangaroo's going like this, and then so he was like this, and he was a park ranger, and so he's like, "You're not getting my dog," boo! And then the kangaroo like goes down after this punch, and he lost his job. The guy, he lost his job
because he boxed a
kangaroo. So yeah, you don't want to mess with a kangaroo, but a little kangaroo's okay. Like they're not too, They,
And if you want to see a kangaroo up close and personal, go to the Nashville Zoo, because you can go to the kangaroo kickabout and they're all around and you can see them. NashvilleZoo.org to get information. See?
I didn't know that. I learned something new
Oh,
from you
look
today.
out! She's going straight there after this.
I know, and you can, and especially if there's a baby, the little Joey with his little head out of the pouch, you can, and you can't go off the path to touch them, but if they're on the path, sometimes they like to be visited with, and some are more affectionate than others, just like people.
Yes, very much.
Let's go after the show today.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jayne. We're so glad
to see you. Thank you.
So glad you came to see us. Hey, when we come back, we're gonna delve into some health and wellness coming up, and a registered dietitian is going to join us. How about that?
I think I need the help. I got a lot of questions for her.
I do too. And I'm going to tell you right now, one of our biggest problems in our country right now, we didn't used to have to worry about kids being obese or teens being obese as a big group.
Yeah.
But now that's a problem, and that's one of the things that she helps. Stick around and you're going to get some good tips, and you might have a child that needs her help, or you might need a little help. I need some help. This is Taste of Nashville. We are taping live here at the Omni Nashville.
Hi, I'm Carmen at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Come see us at the Macara Spa.
Nashville Sounds Baseball is back in Hit City for the 2024 season. Spend your nights and weekends at the ballpark with weekly giveaways, fireworks shows, throwback deals, live music, and more. Top talent will take the field at First Horizon Park against the AAA Minnesota Twins, Baltimore Orioles, Atlanta Braves, St. Louis Cardinals, Cincinnati Reds, and more. Tickets start at just $10 and are available now at NashvilleSounds.com. We will see you in Hit City.
Step into the Lionel retail store at Opry Mills, Nashville, and you'll be captivated by all the magic of the 124-year history of Lionel trains. Whether you're already a train enthusiast or just getting started, Lionel will energize your love for trains. NASCAR fan? Come check out your local Lionel station to learn all there is to know about model trains and die-cast NASCAR collectibles. Visit LionelNashville.com or call 615-455-9399.
He shoots, and he scores!
Welcome back.
Oh my gosh. She can sing too.
Well, I can sing that. I mean, I'm not going on tour singing those 2 words, but I will say we are loving that you're joining Taste of Nashville. This is our all-girls show.
It is. We've got girl host, girl guest, and we've got a lady here that I have been wanting to talk to since I found out that it's going to be on your show today.
Registered
a lot of questions.
Dietitian. She's got so many letters behind her name. You need the whole alphabet to put them all together. But she is a registered dietitian. Wendi Irlbeck is with us. And did you just set up a spot in Nashville? Is the Nashville area new to you?
Well, thank you for having me. I have been in Nashville for 3 years. I started my private practice in East Lansing, Michigan, and I'm a Minnesota native, and I was tired of the Midwest cold, and I was like, I'm going to pray about it, and the Lord brought me to Nashville, Tennessee, and I've been here ever since.
It wasn't because you just looked at us and you said, they look so unhealthy. I'm going to get in there and help them. Can you tell me what can motivate me to just get up off the couch and just turn off my electronics? Because I'm either on my laptop all the time or watching YouTube. I'm constantly on the couch.
It's a great question. Purpose, having a reason to get out of bed every day. And we know that TV, cell phones, those things are all distractions. So getting outside, getting out in nature, that will motivate you because you're going to feel so much joy and you're going to get energized from movement. You're not going to want to go sit on the couch or be in front of your phone because you see the benefits of getting up and about more.
Yeah, well, I bought a bike. It was too much trouble. So then I got an electric bike. Then I had to remember to charge it. I mean, I'm giving myself excuses.
There's always an excuse. There's always an excuse. There's always a good excuse usually. But at the same time, you're right, is that if you shut down some of the virtual connection stuff, if you just shut it down for just a little bit, all of a sudden being outside has a way of making you feel better.
It has. And earthing. I don't know if you're into the earthing, the grounding part where you take your shoes off. You want to tell us about that?
Absolutely. So there's actually a great deal of research to support the reduction in your blood pressure. It reduces stress, anxiety, and a lot of busy parents, a lot of kids now too, there's a lot of anxiety with all the devices. So there's a great deal of research that 20 minutes of grounding daily can help bring down blood pressure, anxiety, depression, which I think is a very good thing to do.
And does it mean you have to take off your shoes and your bare feet and stand on grass, or can you stand on concrete if you live in the city?
Preferably getting into the grass, into the dirt, gravel. Any of our clients and athletes that travel, we tell them especially get outside of your hotel, go in the grass there, take off your shoes, and just allow the earth to energize you.
Yeah, there's actual electrical energy that comes up from the earth.
That's correct.
Yeah, I saw something on YouTube where somebody held those, the meters, the electric pulse meters,
yes,
and they held onto them, and when they stood on the ground, all of a sudden the meter goes nuts. The electric current that comes up through, and that's why you feel better when you go outside and you literally get in the grass or get some organic vitamin D. I want to talk about, here's the deal, fat kids. Never was that a thing. Now we have kids. You couldn't get us to come in when we were younger. You could not get us to come inside. We played outside. Our parents didn't even know where we were.
If we were dead or alive.
Yeah.
They didn't care.
I mean, if the street lights came on, you know to come home, or Mama's going to get a switch. But that's how you knew to come home. But now it's a totally different thing. Kids don't want to even go outside. And we're seeing younger and younger and younger heart issues and things like that. How do you deal with someone who's got a teenager or an adolescent who comes to you? And by the way, Wendi does all of her work. She has a virtual practice. So you have clients all over the world.
Yes, ma'am. So the blessing is that I grew up with a really incredible childhood in which my mother wasn't present and my dad instilled a great deal of discipline. So we were always outside doing chores. So I have taken my childhood adversity and applied it to the kids and the situation now. So parents will consult with us that, for example, I have worked with a young kid that had over 100 pounds to lose. And how we did that was small changes. We changed his routine. Wake up, drink water. Wake up and get 20 grams of protein within 20 minutes because protein helps support appetite regulation. It helps power up your day, and how we start our day sets the tone for the entire day. So a part of the problem with kids is they wake up and they're on their screens. They're on their screens for over 4 hours a day. So getting the screens away for the first hour of the day, getting up, getting a walk, drinking water, eating protein, and the whole family should be doing that, not just kids.
I was going to ask, does this work for grown-ups too?
Yes, it does.
Okay, did you guys hear that? Okay, the first thing, wake up, drink water, walk around, don't look at your screen first.
Correct. 20 grams of protein within 20 minutes.
Does that include bacon?
Yes, you can. All foods fit. And that's a big part of our challenges right now, too, with kids, is that some are on such restrictive diets that they binge eat. So a big part of what my team and I do is we help create balance, and we restore the sustainability of eating well, eating to nourish. Because when you eat well, you feel well. So a balanced plate, you could do a little bit of bacon, maybe some apple and peanut butter, an egg, and you're out the door, or even a protein fruit smoothie. I have a ton of recipes that I share on my website as well as on social media.
What about the shakes and the protein bars? Are those okay, or are those just candy bars just disguised?
Sugar.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, it depends. So if you make your own, I would prefer that. We have recipes for that. But a lot of the protein bars are marketed towards kids, and even cereals now are coming out with high protein. But I really encourage anyone to look at the ingredient list, because if whey protein or pea protein is not one of the first few ingredients, there's very little protein in it. And typically these things are they're synthetically made, and they're not high quality protein like eggs, beef, chicken, Greek yogurt, which are much better choices for kids and families.
Mm-hmm. Now, I go to bed by the TV every night. That's a bad habit, I know. But I put the TV timer on, 30 minutes, and I'll fall asleep. But it's a blue screen that comes up. And I understand that blue screens are not good for your
Melatonin production.
There you go.
Oh, I'm so glad that you brought this up. Sleep is king and nutrition is queen. This is something we help all families and kids understand. So your routine within an hour and a half before bed really should be no electronics, no video games, no screens, no email, drinking a little bit of water. You really shouldn't be eating a heavy meal before bed, because your internal core is going to rise, and that's going to inhibit quality sleep. So for anyone that says, well, I just can't sleep well, check what you're doing in the hours leading up to bed. And then also, are you having caffeine later in the day? A lot of kids right now too many sugary beverages, drinking pre-workouts, energy drinks, which it's all nonsense. So a big part of what we do is get them into a sleep routine. The National Sleep Foundation recommends 9 to 11 hours of sleep for adolescents, and then adults anywhere from 7 to 9. But the more active you are, the more stressed out you are, the more sleep that you're going to need.
Well, the latest thing is caffeine. They're saying 4 cups of coffee, like you have coffee for breakfast, and then right after breakfast have coffee at lunch, and a cup after lunch. Is that, and then no more the rest of the day. She's having a heart attack over here.
Well, it goes against, the Nutrition with Wendi routine of wake up and drink water, wake up and eat your 20 grams of protein within 20 minutes.
No caffeine.
I drink coffee. I'm not against coffee. There's research to support the antioxidant
Thank
benefits.
goodness.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't touch the caffeine. But the challenge is that when you're skipping meals, your blood sugar dips, and then you are craving things, you overeat at your next meal, and the whole process just perpetuates. It's a nasty cycle. So when people go without eating protein and obviously, fruits, vegetables, fiber, that's where then they're reliant upon caffeine. But caffeine actually doesn't energize you. It just blunts the fatigue response. So I'm not against caffeine, but I would say most people don't need their additional coffee if they would actually eat some steak and eggs for breakfast with some fruit.
It's just like our grandparents who were farmers and whatever. They got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. They had a big heavy breakfast with steak and eggs and all that stuff. And they lived to be like 100 years old.
Yeah.
And they worked, and they did that. So some of that, going back to some of that real life stuff, is good. Okay, before we get out of here, I know we're running long, but I got to ask. Energy drinks. Everybody's drinking energy drinks. Are they scary? Are they bad? Or
and
are they...
wine. I got
Well, that's a whole nother thing. I don't know. I don't want to get attacked here. If I take away people's alcohol, they might come for me with their pitchforks. So I always say this: if you need an energy drink for energy, that's like rearranging furniture on a sinking ship. Eventually, it's going down. So we do not support energy drinks. They have a lot of caffeine, 3 times the amount that's recommended for children and even adults. I think a lot of people just would benefit from drinking water, getting their 9 to 11 hours of sleep, having protein at every single meal, and then getting away from the Monsters, the Red Bulls, things like that. I just think that it's become completely chaotic, and we've gotten away from the fundamentals of whole food, real sleep, and I would just really like to see things go in a different direction because the obesity crisis is tumultuous and terrifying.
And red wine at night before I go to bed.
1 glass a couple of times a week. We'll give you that recommendation from a dietitian.
See, I love that.
All foods fit.
Well, I've got a ton of questions that we didn't get to ask, but that's what this show is about, is to teach you that there are people in our midst that you can go wherever you are in the country and you can have a consultation with Dr. Wendi Irlbeck. How do they get in touch with you?
Yes, so you can reach out to us. My team and I, we're registered dietitians. We are certified sports nutritionists. We help families. Reach out to us, nutritionwithwendy.com, Nutrition with Wendy on Instagram, and then Wendi Irlbeck on Twitter. Tons of free tips. You literally don't even have to talk to me and you can get results. Just go follow the info.
And it's Wendi with an I and Irlbeck with an I. Eyes have it. See?
Thank you so much for having me.
You're awesome.
Wendi has athletes, professional athletes all over the country. We're talking about, you're from Texas.
Oh, yeah.
And you have some professional athletes in Texas that talk to you.
A lot of high school athletes, a lot of programs, a lot of sports nutrition education to get the kids into the routine, coaches, parents too. We can help you no matter where you're located.
All right, you guys got the scoop and you got a lot of questions I bet you need to ask. Well, call Wendi because she will have all the scoop for you. We'll be right back because Judy Pastor is standing by. I have been listening to her record. It was handed to me on a flash drive. Now, I had never been handed an album on a flash drive before.
High-tech redneck right here.
I'm telling you, I was so into it because, you know, cars don't have CD players, a lot of them anymore. And so, and my vehicle didn't have a CD player. And so brought it in on and I mean, the songs are stellar. And we're going to find out more about Judy Pastor. I met her originally at the Gatlinburg Songwriters Festival years ago, and we're going to see what she's up to now with a brand new album. Stick around.
My name is Roy, Bellman at Omni Hotel. Please come and see us.
Step into the Lionel retail store at Opry Mills, Nashville, and you'll be captivated by all the magic of the 124-year history of Lionel trains. Whether you're already a train enthusiast or just getting started, Lionel will energize your love for trains. NASCAR fan? Come check out your local Lionel station to learn all there is to know about model trains and die-cast NASCAR collectibles. Visit LionelNashville.com or call 615-455-9399.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Well, Cathy Martindale is my co-host today, and I'm so excited that you're here.
My sister in radio.
We've laughed because we have so much in common. As we started, you know, we both found out we have an addiction to Diet Dr. Pepper.
Yes, and we're both blonde and tall and broke.
So that's it. Life in
We're
radio.
going to busk outside the hotel here in just a little bit.
That's kind of a scary thought, but we do have a guest that is with us that could definitely make a mint busking because
That's right.
she is fantastic.
I
Judy
wonder if she's
Pastor.
done it.
Hi.
I know.
I've never done it in Nashville. I did it in Washington once at the fish market.
Is that kind of scary to get out there and just start playing your guitar and not know who these strangers are?
I was out there, but I did it. It was fun, actually.
I met you at the, we have a fly that has joined my coffee.
Yes.
You know, it's like, get away from me, get away from me.
Get away, fly.
Anyway, you were at the Gatlinburg Songwriters Festival, and I got to hear you for the first time. Juliet Vara, who was at the time working for the Grand Ole Opry.
That's right.
And she says, you got to meet my friend Judy. And that's how we met. And I've been following you ever since. And I've watched your songwriting. You're writing some really great songs.
Thank you. I love writing. I love singing. I love it all.
When did you move to Nashville?
The end of 2011.
So you've been here long enough to develop some really great songwriting relationships. I want to ask one in particular that it's a guy, you may not know him, but he's another guy from Pennsylvania.
He's amazing.
Bill DeLuigi. He is the common denominator to some of my favorite songs I have ever heard. And you and he have developed a wonderful songwriting relationship.
So he was actually my first co-writer back in Pennsylvania. We met at an NSAI Philadelphia chapter meeting, and I gave him a song that I had written. It happened to be a worship song, and it was called Bow Down. And he took it and he tweaked it, as they say, and sent it back to me. I gave it to him, and I absolutely fell in love with it, and hence our relationship began. So it's been a good long time now.
There was another girl who came into Nashville from Pennsylvania. We might know her by the name of Taylor Swift.
Oh, yes.
But something in the water there.
And Jeannie Seeley, don't forget her. She's also a Pennsylvania girl.
Yeah, it used to be people that came to Nashville were from the Southeast. I mean, Texas and the Southeast. And you didn't see people come in from the North or the West Coast. And that's all starting to change.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's here from everywhere, but I think that if you have like a purpose and a passion with music and you're meant to be here, it doesn't really matter if you're from here or where you're from, like you'll find your way and dig in, you know?
The inspirations are the same, they're universal.
I think so.
There's a lot of tailgate stuff going on right now with songwriting.
Yeah.
Drinking and sitting on your tailgate though, I mean.
Yeah.
That's why I
Going to the
like
lake.
this new album. It's Road to the Sun, and it came out in May. But I love it's got so many inspiring and uplifting songs on it. It's not your drinking, tailgate, booty shaking kind of songs. I'm just going to say it's not that. Although it's got a lot of tempo. It just makes you feel good when you're driving along to listen to it.
It's nice. Thanks.
You know, it really does. And you go. It reminded me of when I used to listen to songs like, I've also been listening between your record and I've been listening to a catalog of Wynonna.
Nice. I love
And
that.
I realize how much the 90s Wynonna music and what you are doing is very similar in theme. It's all to uplift and
uplifting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's interesting, like when I moved here, I would hear, oh, you have a very classic country voice. I mean, I'm from Philadelphia, you know, and wasn't really exposed to like classic country when I was growing up. I was exposed later, but I think that there's something like in me that just it's organic, it's natural. So for you to say that, it doesn't surprise me because it's not like I've studied like I'm trying to emulate 90s, you know, or anything. It's just the way that it comes out, and I love that about the artistry here in Nashville.
It's hard to make connections. I mean, sometimes you have to know somebody to get your foot in the door.
That's true.
Here, did you have a mentor?
Devon.
Devon, yes. She knows people.
Honestly, I really didn't. I moved down here. I prayed for a long time about it. I really felt like I was supposed to move here. I felt like my husband was here if there was a husband, and there was. And I have just, found my way, meeting people, and my artistry has been really embraced, which is interesting because I thought, well, I'm just going to be a songwriter. I don't know. I just moved down because I felt very passionate about being here, and I knew I was supposed to be here.
I love how this show has had so many references. Every guest we've had has had a faith reference.
Yeah.
And I love that because I think that's what makes it work if you come to this town. It really does. Because if not, this town can eat you. It can literally chew you up and spit you out and send you back home. And when you've got that faith to keep going.
It happened to Garth Brooks.
He left, yeah.
His first time to town, he stayed 24 hours, got discouraged. I know the man he talked to, and he just felt like, I'm just not good enough to make it in this town. He turned around and went back to Oklahoma.
Yes.
And started writing better songs and came back and, we've heard of the guy since then.
Yeah, of course.
Would you play a song from your new record?
I absolutely will. So, this is a song that my parents, it's based on a true story. They purchased a painting when I was a baby, and they hung it up in the living room, and I literally crawled around under this painting.
Mm-hmm.
And the painting is a girl sitting on a couch, playing an acoustic guitar, wearing a shawl, looking very much like a singer-songwriter. And as I grew up, I began to resemble the painting. And so I was sharing with my husband, Megan, about that I grew up to be the picture on the wall. And he said, you've got to write that song. And so that was the inspiration for the song.
I love it.
So this is Picture on the Wall.
There's a picture on the wall at my mama's house. There's a girl that I look up to, set above the couch. Just looking at it, it was prophetic. That girl and her guitar, a ladder to my heart. Now here I am. Yeah, there's magic in my hands, peace in my soul, singing all my songs. I can't help but think it's meant to be. This journey that I'm on started with that picture on the wall. Her face was shadowed, her hair was long. She never said a word, but I swear I heard a song. It was poetic, it was prophetic. That girl and her guitar set fire to my heart. Now here I am. Yeah, there's magic in my hands, peace in my soul, singing all my songs. I can't help but think it's meant to be. This journey that I'm on started with that picture on the wall. I grew up and became that girl inside the frame, hanging on my mama's wall. Now here I am, there's magic in my hands, peace in my soul, singing all my songs. I can't help but think it's meant to be. This journey that I'm on started with that picture on the wall. on the wall. That picture on the wall.
Yes. That's so personal. I mean, that's the thing about country music, is that you make yourself vulnerable, and it just really endears yourself to the listener, and that's what that song does.
Thank you.
Did you have pictures on your wall growing up?
Yeah, but mine was a clown that I painted.
Yeah, I've heard this.
I guess I turned out to be that. So.
Yes.
Well, I had pictures of horses. I had Secretariat and Sham were on my walls, and so I always say, you know, my pinups were all horses.
Oh my goodness.
Judy Pastor, Paster.
Correct.
So you get that right. Did you ever take the train from Philly into to New York City? Did you ever take
Yes, I used to do that Amtrak, I think, or whatever it was. Yeah.
I mean, I always say the train. Here we don't have as much use of trains,
unfortunately.
But I know. We used to have Union Station. It used to be a train station, and trains are so much fun. And Lionel Trains recaptures that, and they sponsor this show.
Oh, nice.
And I love that, because in the thing about being in the Northeast, you just took the train everywhere. I would take the train out to Long Island. I would take the train to Pittsburgh or to Philly or whatever, and anywhere you need to go, to New Jersey, you could take a train just anywhere. Go to Penn Station, get on a train, and go places. Well, if you have that, we have Alan who produces the show. And Alan loves him some Lionel Trains. And he will start talking to you about Lionel Trains. But you are also the host of, what is it, NASCAR Country?
It used to be. And I've done the show for 31 years now, believe it or not. And we changed over to Racing Country.
Okay.
And Racing Country Classics. It's actually two different shows, because I interview the veterans and then the new people. So it's
I love
a lot
it.
of fun.
Well, so they also have the replicas of all the racing cars, the famous racing cars and stuff. So Lionel Trains is in Opry Mills Mall. And Lionel Trains, we were so appreciative that they bring you Taste of Nashville. Where can they find your music, Judy?
They can find me on my website, judypastor.com, and Judy Pastor Music on all my socials, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, etc.
And it's Judy
Paster.
Do you do music videos?
I've got some music videos that are out there on the Country Network and being, shown. And I've got Chop Wood, Carry Water, The Ride.
I love that one.
What else? With Kiss. So a couple of the songs off the album, my new album, Road to the Sun, have videos, and then we're going to make some more videos.
It's fun doing that, isn't it?
I love the
It's a
videos.
blast.
I love it.
Well, you guys follow Judy's music, and we will give a shout out to that husband who is a believer in you, because we talk every Saturday. If you ever go to 3rd and Lindsley, you will see Megan, and he's running the room.
Yep,
he's
he
running
does.
the room. He runs the room, and he's part of our backstage family every Saturday. And he's more proud of you than he is anything he's ever done.
Really? Thank you for telling me.
Yes,
I'll make
yeah.
sure he tells me
Yeah,
later.
he's pretty proud of you. So we love to give shout outs to folks who are watching and a part of what we do here. Cathy, thank you for sitting in for John Dwyer.
It's been so much fun. I just feel like we're family, and that we just intuitively know each other, and
we still are overdue on a fishing trip, though.
Yeah, and a glass of wine.
Yeah.
We'll throw that in there too.
Well, I might have to do that non-alcoholic wine, because one absolutely puts me under. But it's so funny. People go, "Do you sleep well?" I could sleep in the middle of the interstate.
Oh my gosh!
Which is why I Uber places. This is why. Because I go, do I have narcolepsy? No, but it's just like I don't have trouble sleeping. People can talk about that. So.
We've got some catching up to do, and it's so fun to do your show today. Appreciate it. Great guest. Everybody was awesome. Learned a little bit today.
I love it. And if you want to find out more about Omni Nashville, go to omninashville.com, because it is a place. And if you need a job and you want to work at the coolest place in the world to work, OmniNashville.com has a career page. You can go there, work in one of the restaurants, or maybe you're that front desk person like we met earlier with Maria. In any case, whatever you do, stay as part of our Main Street family and watch all of our Main Street shows and download our free Main Street television app. You can go to Roku, Amazon Fire, and watch all of our shows. See you next time.
She's amazing.
Taste of Nashville. Bye, everybody.